Yes, I will.
Yeah, as per today's syllabus, basics. Yeah, ANSYS basics, types of interfaces. Okay. Before going to the ANSYS basics and types of interfaces, I would like to tell you a few more things. How elements are formed, what type of elements are available. Okay, depending upon the element type, we can select the depending upon the problem. We must select the element. If you don't know the problem thoroughly or exactly, you are going to select the elements. So better understand your first. How you can solve the problem here. It's the ANSYS and tool as per requirements or as per the site situations. So it's also one of the software tool optimize your computation time by mathematical method in time for you. But nowadays in computation world, we need less time to launch new products. Okay, please to calculate mathematically to go for the
Hemant, please check your volume. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hemant, check your volumes. Our volume is very clear.
okay.
Yeah, okay, sir, please carry.
Yeah, like that, we have to select the elements depending upon our problem. First, suppose you are trying to solve a circular bearing. Okay, having that, you need entire body to solve the problem. Only the second where you want better, you can see the results. Degrees 360 degrees, 60 degrees, 90. How it will look like deform those. Working. Yeah, welcome back to everybody. We are discussing about the elements. What type of element we have to select depending upon our problem, and depending upon element only, the mesh, whatever we are going to generate, of crucial role. thermal element to solve the structural problem. How it will deform? It won't deform. Even though if we try to solve it, some fatal errors will occur. So we must understand which element is suitable for which problem. For that, what I am suggesting you is just go through the element list. What type of elements are available? How effectively we can use those elements depending upon our problem. There are so many elements available in ANSYS. Simply tutorials. In the tutorials, you can find out the verification manuals. What is that means? Whatever the verification manuals are there, they are in command mode. CUI, command user interface. Those you can copy and paste it here. You can see the results, how the problem is defined, what are the results occurred. Okay, for reference purpose, to verify, to understand the software. It's taking a long time. In the meanwhile, we will discretizing the area or volume into finite particles or blocks. Building blocks are also called building blocks, called elements. So whatever the volume area existed, you will try to small, okay, those called elements. We must select the elements when we are using FET, finite element analysis or finite element technique. There we first find out the stiffness. From the stiffness matrix to force, external force matrix, we can find out the displacement. Same thing happened here also, but we need not to mathematically. Those all the things will be solved. Oh, hello? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is clear.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody saying they are not able to hear. Are you able to hear right now, Mr. Madhukar?
Clear, sir. You can go ahead.
Okay.
Yes,
Like
sir, clear.
Like we can go for first. It will find out background. It will show you the results. Front end. The results means only display. If you want to show if you want to display the results in the form of values or numerical or in other formats also, you must command the ANSYS software those results.
So do you want to share this screen to the
Oh, maximize it. Go to the element table. I would like to go to the element table. I want to show them what are the available. Is it okay? See here, there are different types of elements available. Okay, there are different types of elements available depending upon structural problem, structural mass, link, beam, pipe, solid, shell. Even in each one, you can find out different types of elements. Link, actuator 11, beam. You can see 2 node, 3 node, 188, 189, pipe elements. Simply you can draw a line by defining that line as a pipe by selecting these nodes or elements. Sorry, 2 node element or 3 node element 289. It will consider it as and to solve the problem. It will show you the full view of the pipe. Need not to select or need not to generate entire drawing of the like ID, OD, thickness. You need not to specify those all the things. Simply select the line, specify it as a pipe, define the dimensions ID, OD. By default, it will take it as a pipe of that line and solve the problem. Solid. You can see here quarter 4 node, 8 node, brick 8 node. Different types of elements are available. Here I would like to explain you there are different types of elements. Tetrahedral elements, lateral elements, triangular elements, or different types of elements. But suppose if you take tetrahedral element or quadrilateral element, number of nodes you want in between. As we discussed in AutoCAD, maybe some of you are familiar with AutoCAD. Okay, that's why I'm considering it as. But if you are not, I will explain you again. When you take a line, it will have 3 snapping points. Starting point, midpoint, end point. Those 3 points here work as a node. What is the difference between point and node? That question will also rise in your mind or when you are doing the problems or in Viva Voice. What's the difference between point AutoCAD we used in AutoCAD is the mean by node here. So whatever the geometry points, we simply consider it as a points or geometry line that we converted into finite element model. Once you converted into finite element model, those points became nodes here. What is it mean by convert or to finite element model? That process is called meshing. What is mean by meshing means, simply I try to explain you. First, suppose it will have coordinates in geometry x, y. Am I right? First, suppose you want to apply a load on x, y mathematically. Without differentiating it, how can you apply the force or how can you apply the loads? How can you constrain that? So with differentiate with respect to force. How you can differentiate with respect to force? You need to differentiate with x1, y1, whatever the values you have in the equation. It may be a point equation or line equation. How you differentiate it? You can apply the force with reference to force. You can differentiate with reference to values like magnitude and directs. You can differentiate. Then you can apply force on that. Once you differentiate with the force vector, the displacement results will you get. Okay, those displacement results it will show you here. So what my point is, unless until you convert that point to mathematical equation format, you can't do anything. Simply it's a geometry. On geometry you can't do anything. You can't force, you can't deform, you can't constrain. Once you convert that into finite element model, you can go ahead. Like you can constrain it, you can apply load, you can see motion, whatever you wish. That's called node. So converting geometry into finite element model, the process is called meshing, and nodes are finite element models. On finite element models, we can go ahead with whatever wish. So here is geometry. If you select 8 nodes, each corner you will have nodes, and meanwhile in the mid point are those 2 corners. You have nodes. To geometry. Also find elements for aerofoil structures or ducting in R&AC, or some sort of thickness is negligible compared to length. There you can select the shell elements, solid shell elements, and the compared to length, thickness is little bit ratio 1:2, 1:0.5, 1:2. Then you can go for the solid shell elements. And different types are available. You can see gasket, contact. When you have two different types of surfaces, in between you want to generate a see how it will work. For suppose take an IC engine example. Engine, piston, around the piston rings. The rings are attached to the inside cylinder head. In between there is a little gap between the piston and cylinder head. Whatever the liquid or fluid, consider from bottom end oil, from top end fuel. Okay, that fuel will be flow into that gaps. You need not to consider the fuel in between. The gap is negligible. There you can go for the contact element. You can select that gap contact element. You can directly contact between the cylinder head to piston head. So whatever deformations or whatever the force side on the piston or whatever the results, okay, that will be implemented on the surface of the inside surface of the cylinder head. Like you can select contact surfaces, and so many types of elements are available. Go to the help. There it will show you the different types of elements. What type of element you want to, you can select and show it to. I'm going to show you if possible. Mr. Madhukar, is it possible for them to visualize this menu?
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
You try to share. Yeah. Yeah. You can see here the element list of elements available. As I told you previously, hierarchy will follow. You can see, irrespective of their alphabets, it will follow the ascending order. 5, 11, 13, 14, 21, 25, plane, fluents, link elements, plane elements, and some sort of combined elements, solid elements. For our problem, we are going to select depending upon, first suppose you want to solve a simple bar problem or a simple beam. I prefer to select one 188, 189. Beam 188. Simply select that beam 188. You can see it will give you the description about a beam 180 element, 188 element. You must go through this. It will give you some specifications like for what type of problems we can select this element, beam 188 element, how it will look like, what is the geometrical representations, and what sort of results we can extract from this element. What are the ratios we can apply. Before going to problems, you must understand which element is useful for what sort of problems you want to solve. Standard library sections. So see, to go for the beam 188, different sections are available. I section, C section, rectangular sections. In generally, I sections used in section of B ridges. So how nodes will be placed. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes between one center node also. If you want to go for the quadrilateral nodes, you can go ahead with the quadrilateral nodes also. What I mean to show you here is, see here, what type of loads we can apply. It will show you here. So once you go through this, you can master to this software. As we don't have much time to explain these all the things, I'm just showing you how material properties, which material properties it will ask, Young's modulus, Poisson's ratio, and all other things, density, damper, what type of body loads it will take, temperature, special features, key points were considered as zeros, ones, what is meant by ith node, what is meant by jth node. At continuity, your jth node will become to ith node to next element, how it will take the continuity, equation, everything you can check out here. Simply it's a ocean. Whatever you want, you can extract and come out with your route map, or else you'll be stuck in that. You don't know in which direction you are supposed to move. You'll face a lot of problems. So you must know the direction. So n number of elements are available. Check out those elements. For what purpose are useful those are. From using 180 beam element, these are the results we can extract. And those results are in the shortcut format. See section shear forces in Y and Z, section shear strain, shear stress, elastic strains. These are the shortcuts. These we are supposed to define. What is meant by EP, what is meant by SX, what is meant by SE, what is meant by SFY, SFZ. They will ask you what is meant by MAT. Okay, all the questions will be raised in Viva. If you have any CAD/CAM lab related to computer-aided engineering, especially if you are using the ANSYS software, and Viva they will ask you. Here, output quantity names, force in X direction, movement in Y, movement in Z direction, torque. Here, shortcut is SMIC, sum of miscellaneous numbers, NMIC, numerical miscellaneous numbers, like that. You need to define SMIC. If you define SMIC, I will show you. Go ahead. If you define SMIC 1 and 14, okay, it will give you the results of force in X direction. If you define SMIC 17, then it will give you the torque results, like elastic results, elastic limits. Every time you need to specify the numbers. Why you have to define these all the numbers, you may confuse. So to reduce that, initially I am telling you all the things. These are all the things. Because once we go for the problem, there is nothing to explain. Simply selecting the options, defining them, and solving, getting the results. So there is not much more thing to explain. Before that only, you must know these all the things. Then it is helpful for you. Like, see, for only one element, these many, this much description is there. So, my knowledge, whenever I am trying to teach one particular problem, you better note down elementary description very well. Once you know the elementary description, by using that single element, you can solve a number of problems and different kind of problems. But if you don't understand why that element is useful, you can solve that particular problem only. In thumb rule or other methods, I can explain you. If I teach you how to use the wrench, okay, you can open any machine by using the wrench. You can open any threaded portions, either it may be nut or bolt, whatever it may be. Okay, that's the advantage. If I am going to teach you how to open a particular nut only, if it is a hexagon or some sort of or whatever it may be, internal hexagon or external hexagon, you are not able to understand how to use the wrench in other conditions. So what my intention is to here, I am going to explain you the tools. How best you can use, it's up to you. How effectively you can work, it's up to your problem. So better understand the tools very well, then you will become a master. You can solve any problem, not only the particular problem which I am going to teach you in this short period. Once you understand all the things, we can start any problem, we can solve n number of problems. That was my vision and my intention to explain you all. Maybe those who are not familiar with the FEM, they may get bored. It's not like simply selecting the options, defining the numerical values, getting the results, showing to the customer. That's about the elements. Only elements and basic things of ANSYS. ANSYS basics. Types of interfaces. There are different types of it. I'm trying to teach you one of them. Earlier, we come to know how to use command prompt. Here, see, when we type ET, element type, it will ask you all the other parameters needed to define the element type. Okay, element name and points, stiffness, anything. It will ask you related to that element table. That's one sort of a command user interface. You can select here, that's graphic user interface, element type, add edit. As we know, you can add the element, whatever element you want, you can select. Until unless you know the element very well, better not to select for a particular problem, particular element. Element been defined. As we discussed earlier, it will follow hierarchy. Until unless you complete the preprocessor, you can't go for the solution. Once you fulfill all the commands in solution, then you can go for the general postprocessor. In general, this problem, by using these three, we can solve preprocessor, solution, general postprocessor. What do you mean by preprocessor? First, suppose we take a problem, simply consider a pen. In pen, you are going to insert the refill. So where it is constrained at the end surface, and whatever the outer radius of the nib. All right, those are the two contact points. In between, it's a free. All right. So define that problem where you have to constrain at the end of the surface and around the surface of nib. These 2 points have to constrain. Remaining area is free. If you pour some liquid which is denser more than the air, what about the inside refill fluid flow? What will happen if you fill with minus degrees temperature? What will happen to the inside refill fluid? Whether it will free flow or we need to force that to write smoothly. These are the things. When you are solving the problem, you need to define what type of problem it is, if it is related to mechanical or fluid or electromagnetic or structural, thermal, whatever it may be. In preprocessor, everything you have to specify. What type of problem is that, what type of elements we are going to select, and the boundary conditions, where we are going to constrain, where we are going to apply the forces, everything preprocessor. Before processing to, we must specify all parameters. Once you specify or fulfill the preprocessor, then we can go for the solution. In solution, what type of results you want? Everything you can. What type of loads or analysis type? These are all the things you can specify in the solution. Analysis type, defining the loads, what are the type of results you want, you are expecting, or you want to display. These are all the things in the solution. When it comes to the general post processor, you can extract the results. You can ask here by clicking these commands, what load cases we applied, what type of results you want, either graphical representation, either in table format, or else only point values, or particular at a particular point you see the results. For those all the things you need to go for the general processor. Most of the cases are our common problems will be fulfilled by knowing these three commands: preprocessor, solution, and general processor. In some other cases, or when it comes to some extended dynamic problems or some sort of other problems or complicated problems, we need to go for the time history postprocessor and some other options. So once you know these three tools, you can solve a number of problems as per my knowledge. Okay, thank you very much for today's session. Whatever the syllabus been covered. If you have any doubts, guys, please note down your queries in the chat box. I try to solve. I'm expecting queries. Is there any queries?
One is asking material. Material of which one? Manusha?
Please share the.
Yeah, element list. Carry on.
Yeah, he will try to share. If you have ANSYS software, you directly you can see. You can download or you can write down. From my point of view, better you note down. Yes, when you are noting down, you are supposed to read, understand, then in your own words you will write. Our brain will absorb things 60% through eyes, remaining 40% by understanding or some other means of understanding. So eyes plays crucial role. 60% of your knowledge will comes from watching. So you better reading and note down. Read, then understand in your own words. I don't think that it's already there. I don't want. I just go through that. Then I can understand. It's my personal advice, my personal experience.
Everyone, the link for the material notes is shared in the group. You can download.
Somebody asked in which field. There is no limit. See, if you take a knife, how it is useful means it is useful for cutting vegetables or cutting someone's throat or chopping tree. It's up to it's up to our thinking. I'm not saying that ANSYS software or ANSYS simulation is applicable for only this particular problem. Okay, when you go to the ANSYS workbench, a number of problems are there and number of modules are there. Any problem you can solve by using workbench or using APDL. Here we are using only mechanical APDL. When you go for the APDL in product launcher, you can change your settings. You can solve a number of problems. And so that's what I'm going to explain you. It's a tool. A tool can be used for any problem. Depending upon your problem, which tool you are supposed to use, that you can decide. You can go solve the thermal problems, you can solve the structural problems, both thermal and structural, magnetic problems, chemical problems. When it comes to the battery, depending upon the chemical reaction, electricity generated. On that case, we are pouring distilled water. All right, the distilled water and the electrolyte both give some chemical reaction. Due to that chemical reaction, positive ions will be formed or negative ions will be formed. When it is flowing through the electricity generated, it's maybe static electricity or dynamic electricity, whatever it may be. Like you can solve that problem also. You can generate how chemical equations by using those biochemical reactions or chemical reactions, how much electricity is generating. That also you can see, you can solve by using this ANSYS software. See, for fetching job, it's how best you use the tools. Not like that, you know software, you will get the job. You must be vary from the crowd. I mean, different from the crowd. Normal crowd people, see, suppose how many engineering students are releasing every year, when it compared to science MBBS, how many engineering students are relieving every year? That's not plays a role for your job. It's up to you how you differentiated from the crowd. That plays a role. On what basis particular type of elements are selected? See, when you go through the element, you will understand that. But anyhow, depending upon your problem, for suppose beam problem, beams are there. If it is a rectangular bar, rectangular problems are there. Like different types of element there, whichever you want, you can use it.